What's up, my good people? This your boy CJ Moneyway. Welcome to the Moneyway Show. Hey, today I got my son on with me. Hey, what's your name, boy?
My name Jacoby Young. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I'm 17 years old.
Hey, all right. So I brought you on today, man, because not only because you're my son and because I love you, but this is things that I want to do because I feel like for the young people out there, and even for some of the older people out there, man, I think you got a story to tell. I think you went well. I don't think I know you went through something that was, traumatic, something that was life experiencing, hopefully life changing, but life throws us a lot of curveballs at times. But I just want you to tell the people, man, some of the things that you went through, and in particularly that certain thing that you went through last year.
So last year, around November, my life took a change. November 15th, I went to school and something happened that I never thought in a million years. I went to jail for a school threat that I made toward my school that I in a million years never thought I would do. And that's when my life took a change. On November 15th, I got processed through the Ferndale Police Department. And I was in the holding cell for about 6 hours before they transferred me to Oakland County Children's Village, where I got fingerprinted, mug shot, changed, and I got took down to the Florida quarantine. By my first 2 minutes there, I was in a fight almost my first 2 minutes on the pod. I got moved off the pod, moved into the fish bowls, which is another pod, and guards came through, asked what was going on, didn't know what was going on. And I got moved to a different floor where I quarantined for 6 days. Quarantine probably was the worst time of my life, being in the cell 24 hours a day, just you on the wall, nothing else. No pencils, no books, nothing, just you on the walls all day in a bright light. Trying to sleep at night. I think my first 2 days, my first day there, they put me on suicide watch because I wasn't eating nothing. So
Mm.
when you're on suicide watch, they give you just a stout. You got no clothes on that, just the green thing. Then you give you two blankets. And I continue not to eat nothing. And I think the whole time I was there, I didn't eat. In there, it's something a place you don't want to be. I went times I ain't called my mom for about 2 weeks just because every time I called on the phone, I would hear her cry. And I didn't want to hear that on the phone. When I finally got out of quarantine, it got a little better. I mean, you could finally be on the floor with other people. But then you on the floor with other people, it's still crazy. You people fighting every day. I seen somebody get pee through on their face.
What
It's real life in there.
you say? Peep through in their face.
Pee through on their face. It's real life.
So you said that November 15th is the day that you actually man, that's crazy because that was like 7 years to the day that I published my book, man. Both eyes open and both eyes shut. And here it is, my young boy walking through life with his eyes wide shut. But you say that you went to school and you made a threat. So, like, what actually provoked you to do something of that nature? Like, what was the atmosphere like? Because if I'm not mistaken, it was like the day before that a young lady from Detroit, your same school, right?
Yeah.
That she did the same thing, and they came and picked her up from her house, and she got arrested, and then you went out and did it the next day. So I I guess I just want to know what was your mindset? Like what was you really thinking that, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe that this couldn't happen to you.
I wasn't thinking. I didn't think about none of the repercussions that came with it when it occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And when if it didn't really hit me until I got in the car to go down to the children's village, and that's when it really hit me that it was what was going on.
That it was real, huh?
Yeah, that's when I felt it was real.
So when you was in the police car and they handcuffed you and everything, what was your mindset then? Like I know you had to be thinking about, your mother and the things that she was gonna say, and the things that you was gonna have to go through with that process, listening to her. Cause like you said, you was in the holding cell for so many days or whatever, you didn't want to call her and hear her cry. Is that because like when you in like I've never been to jail. You know, I've never experienced that. I went to jail for drinking and driving once before, but all I went is to the holding cell. But as far as just being locked up and have to stay there for multiple days, I've never experienced that. So is it the experience that you didn't want your mother because you would hear her cry, and you didn't, and it did it make you emotional, and in that state you don't want to be that way because in there you got to man up.
It really
Lost him for a second. We'll be back. There he is.
that really played a part in it too. Just every day, I didn't want to hear her cry because when I heard her cry, it broke me down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to hear that, and just I knew she was hurt. And it took a lot for me to call. And then every time I talked to her, she knew I wasn't eating in there, so
He got bad connection, folks, but he be in and out. It's all good. There you go.
she didn't want me to be hurting and stuff. So she didn't want me to hurt myself, so she wanted me to eat and everything. And it was hurting hearing her cry.
Yeah, man. You know, I remember the day vividly myself, and man, you know, I as a father, you know, as a dad, as a father, as you call me, pops. It hurt me, man. You know what I'm saying? It really did. I cried, man. I cried. I cried. I cried. I think I cried for like 3 days because as a father, and like I said, you know, I've never been in that situation, but I'm not oblivious to life, and I know how it is with people that do get caught up in the system like that. And I guess my biggest fear was you getting locked up for 20. How many years were they talking about giving you?
When he,
For 20 years, man. You know, like you was 16 at the time, and you know, you ain't even experienced life yet. You hadn't even experienced life. You hadn't even experienced your full potential of the things you was doing because at that time you was playing football or, you know,
and
but
when I was in there, I didn't even know that I was facing 20 years. I was blind to all of it. I'm just going court date by court date, seeing what my judge saying. You're not gonna be released here. And he told me my first court date ever. He told me I'm not gonna release you. You're gonna stay here. You're gonna miss the holidays. You're gonna stay through Thanksgiving because I'm not scheduling you another court date till the 28th of November. I stayed through
yeah,
Thanksgiving.
yeah, I remember that because we was all on the phone call and we thought that he was gonna let you because you was in there for like what 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
And we just knew, we was praying and hoping that he was gonna let you out, man. But when he said that he wasn't letting you out to what was it, right before Christmas or something like that?
The 16th.
Yeah, man. You know that was a hurting feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I know your mom's heart dropped. You know through her stomach, my heart dropped. You know I was calling people that I can confide in, and you know my pastor and you know a couple of my partners or whatever, but that was a hurting feeling, man. You know, it was a hurting transition, and so like from that experience that you went through, now let's go to your court dates when you finally got out. So what was the process of you staying out of there and not going back?
So when I first got out, I was on house arrest. So I was on the ankle monitor. I had very strict restrictions. I couldn't be on social media. Couldn't have access to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I could use the internet for school. So I was really just living day to day. I'm out of my mind, bored. I'm just thinking to myself when I come home, like, man, what I didn't see in here, it ain't something I want to come back to. Like, this is real life. Like, people in here getting peed through in their face for real. They fighting in here every day. I'm talking about they sneaking, just fighting, getting jumped, everything. Like, the food, I ain't eat not a single meal the whole time I was in there. I lost 28 pounds my whole time I was in there. I didn't eat a single meal.
For real, it was that devastating, huh?
Didn't eat a single meal.
So while in there, like you say, you didn't have a notebook, you didn't have anything to write with. I think then they give you something to read, then they give you a Bible or something to read or whatever.
Yeah, like once that's when I was in quarantine. When I was in quarantine, you couldn't have nothing. But once you got on the floor, then I can get notebooks and pencils and all that stuff to start writing with. So it got easier when I got off quarantine. But still being in quarantine for 6 days, really it was 7 because I had to wait on. They don't count the weekend, so you got to wait the weekend till Monday. So and I went in on Wednesday, so it's Thursday, Friday, then Saturday and Sunday don't count.
What you mean it don't count? I mean,
Because nobody in the office on the weekends to run tests. So them days don't even count for your quarantine. So you got to do a whole nother 2 days on top of them.
oh, for real?
Yeah, so you in your cell 24, you do cell 24 hours a day. Just you. You can't be talking to no other kids. You showering and going straight to the thing. When you come back, you in your room, it's just you and 4 walls. I'm just thinking all day, like, I'm looking up in the ceiling. I can't go to sleep. This bright light beaming on me the whole time.